Okay, we are live. Just making sure on YouTube. One moment. Okay, yep, we're live. I'm just confirming the sound. One moment. Okay, yep, we're live. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Just confirming the sound. In any case, I will cut this out for my video production later on, not now. I'm trying to just do some videos without cutting and just make it really easy for me. Just want to show off what I'm doing and yeah, create some content and have something to look back on and share with my family, friends, and all of that. I feel like kind of saying what I have done and where I've been doesn't really tell the full story, and showing the pictures and maybe some of the planning and the things that led up to the event and the trip and like what I did there is like gonna probably reveal some things about me, and maybe some other people can learn about me or even Spain or whatever. So without further ado, the way I'm going to do this is I have all my photos here on the left side of the screen, and then maybe Google just in case I want to kind of show the place that I went to. And yeah, it's not going to take too long. I don't plan on actually going through every single photo, maybe just a quick like sort of demonstration about what happened and maybe just a little bit of stories about what I did there. So without further ado, first place was, I guess, let me show when I went to Barcelona. So Barcelona, I left for Spain on March 12th, and then visited Barcelona, Granada, Sevilla, and Madrid in 8 nights, and came back on the 21st of March. So this was last week, a week ago. I'll probably provide some information as to where I was in each of these photos. So yeah, I think that's enough information to start, and we can get into it. So this is sort of a brined anchovy dish at this restaurant called El Kim, I believe. And now this is where I can really use this to review where I went. So El Kim de la Boqueria, and we had just landed in Barcelona, and we were both, Kim and I were both hungry, so we wanted to try and find somewhere that was open real quick. And even though it was like 9 or 10 a.m. is when we landed, but yeah, we went to the market, which is not too far. So we've stayed at El Born. In this map, you can see it's around right here. So we stayed around this location next to this big park, which is really cool. And we walked all the way over to El Kim de la Boqueria and got to see like La Rambla, Las Ramblas, which is like a street that was, there used to be a running stream that through it, but then it became sort of just almost like a town square road almost. Just a lot of people walking on this road. But we made our way to the Mercat de la Boqueria, which is, it's a market, but it's a very tourist friendly market. And by tourist friendly, I'm more saying kind of like a tourist trap sort of place, where the market has just a bunch of goods for sale for really expensive, and you just kind of get a taste of Spain culture. But yeah, there's just so many different things and all that. That's apparently super pricey. You could get it somewhere else. But anyways, that's a lot of information there. Yeah, we went to El Kim de Boqueria and got these anchovies, which I heard was like a specialty. So it's kind of like this pickled fish drizzled with olive oil and balsamic vinegar and olives and garlic. And just like after a long flight and having this sort of taste blast was amazing. So we ordered a couple other dishes. On the top right is the Spanish torta, which is basically an omelet with a bunch of different ingredients inside. I believe this probably just had tomatoes and onions in it. And on the bottom here is the pan con tomate, which is a pretty popular dish in Barcelona. So it's just a slice of bread with really fresh tomatoes spread all over it and olive oil. Very good. Just like, this is just the typical breakfast. Oh yeah, and we also had some like sangria, and a lot more about sangria later on. Just kind of like I believe that like when you're in Spain, you have to have sangria, but we learned later on that sangria isn't really a Spanish thing, and the drink that you really want to have is el tinto de verano, which is like some summer wine or some sort. So later on, we had more of those dishes instead, or that drink instead. So after this, we still had some time to like go to our hotel, which we couldn't check into our hotel until like 1 p.m. and it was only 10 or 11 a.m. So we're kind of just walking around waiting for that. So we went to another place, and I forgot where this was, but they had churros and jamon and chocolate, and it wasn't too crowded. But this was our first go at churros there and some jamon. Very good, just very good combination. It's really weird, combination. Typically, Spanish people don't put sugar here, but probably this restaurant was getting a lot of tourists, so they put sugar on it for us. This was kind of like our first go at interacting with a server who didn't really speak English, and it was a funny story. The server was asking if we wanted a little plate, but I forgot what she kind of said. She was saying some weird word that didn't make sense to me, and I was like, plata, but plata means silver. And then Kim corrected me and it's plato, and then we all like understood that little plato, we wanted a little plate. And it's just funny, kind of like that language barrier that I knew we were going to deal with once we were in Spain. So we got a bunch of pictures, delicious. Oh yeah, now we fast forward to dinner. I guess this day we kind of took it easy, just walked around the city a lot. I have some videos that I hopefully can show of like where else I visited around. Let's see, where are they? Maybe it's because it's, oh, interesting, library. We need to go. So in between lunch and dinner, so I was about to show you my dinner, and I don't want to show that just yet. Here we go. So this was in the El Born / Gothic quarter of Barcelona. We were kind of just walking around our hotel area waiting for check-in, and we passed by like lots of musicians and all that, and these musicians were playing sort of a music that I really enjoyed, and just like it just like showed me that yes, I'm in Europe now. And I gave them a couple euros, and I should have taken a better video, a longer video from up front. I kind of regret that. So yeah, that was like really cool just to see artists just out in the street playing really good music. Like I don't really see that anywhere here in America, like where I am, Southern California, Irvine to be exact. Like I don't know if there's anywhere I could go to listen to live music just on the street like this. So it's really cool. Here are some like other photos from my point of view of what I had. So there's the sangria, more of the same food that I just showed, and some like the architecture around. So that's the Cathedral of Barcelona, El Catedral de Barcelona. Just like a beautiful church. We didn't go inside. We had to spend some money, and we didn't really think it was worth it, but it might have been. I wish I spent some money on checking out some Gothic architecture. So this is dinner. I didn't realize the sort of artwork that was being displayed and the menu, so this is a little inappropriate. But yeah, this is the vermouth, my first try of vermouth, and this was probably one of the best vermouth I had while there, and it was the first vermouth I had, and I think like everything else just wasn't the same. And I probably have pictures of all the other ones, but that vermouth was great. And vermouth is sort of an aromatic, spiced wine. Like, what is vermouth? Is a fortified aromatized wine typically made by infusing wine with herbs, spices, and other botanicals, resulting in a drink that can be enjoyed as an aperitif or in cocktail. So aperitif, I assume it's like an appetizer drink, something you have before your meals or maybe before your other drinks that you have throughout the night. But delicious, fresh orange, squeeze on top, just aromatized, and it's not strong or sugary. So just like, you might think it's a sugary drink, but it's not. And maybe they added some sugar to have it taste better, but I could just drink that all the time. So this was a croquette. And a croquette is a fried potato ball with, like, I believe there's beef in this, like ground beef and other goods. Now, hopefully with these videos, I can better explain what I've had, what I'm eating, and like explain the tastes of it and like why it could be better than food here. And the problem with like finding these things here is you might not find the freshest like croquettes. Like I could go to Porto's and find those potato balls and then heat them up or any of that and like have the same experience, but it's just not the same when you go to a restaurant that serves this for like €1. Like there's a tapa bar around me called Vaca, and you could probably order this, but this would be like $8. So it's a huge price difference. Now here's a scallop, same restaurant. This is El Sophie Gastro Bar. So this restaurant is Sophie Gastro Bar. First sit-down restaurant in España. Really nice servers who really only spoke some Spanish. So like I went to the restaurant, and for me it's just like para dos. So it's like for two, table for two, and people usually get that. And we just, sometimes I don't understand what they say, but they understand that I'm just a tourist, American tourist. Like they say like, hello, welcome, and I have no idea what they're saying. And they get it, and they just like welcome me in, and we go in. And like, yeah, we sat around these tables right here. This exact table we sat. And you can walk in through the restaurant. And yeah, it's like such a cool little restaurant serving tapas for not so much. And it's just delicious food in Barcelona. So super glad I came here. Forgot what this is called, but this is just layered potatoes. So like you can sort of use a mandolin or some sort of like potato scraper and just scrape layers off potatoes, and then they would kind of layer it probably in a sheet and bake it or fry it, or I don't know. So that's what this is. It's just like layered potato chips, soft in the inside, crispy on the outside. This is probably some sort of onion reduction with mayonnaise and chives. Oh, so good. And scallop, some flowers, petals. Like this restaurant had sort of like served their food with flower. This restaurant was so good. Actually so good. Scallop, fresh scallop. Like Barcelona is really famous for their seafood, so that's what we try to focus on. And some corn, some sort of fried corn. I say this is like popcorn before, it gets popped, but it's not really the same. It's just fried corn kernels. Not kernels, but fried corn. I believe this is a tartare. I don't remember if it was a beef or a tuna. I think it was a beef with a sweet potato chip and another sort of chip, and then like some balsamic vinegar, I think some sriracha mayo and grapes. I think this place was sort of fusion, Asian fusion and Spanish, because on the menu there was a lot of like Asian sort of items, but I didn't pick any of that. I kind of wanted the pure Spanish food. And how long is this video going so far? I could just talk for days. It's already 12 minutes now. I'm gonna try and keep this to an hour long. But this is all just the first day, so pretty crazy. Oh, you can tell how much food. So we had like a bunch of appetizers, then we got this tartare, and then we had this, like, they don't call it a paella, but it looks like a paella to me. Just like rice, like flavored rice. I forgot what kind of rice. Rice is different in Spain than like in Asia or whatever. Some fresh seafood, these little mini asparagus sort of leaves, sauce of some sort, and either scallops or squid or whatever. Super delicious. Now this plate isn't like, yes, it looks big, but it wasn't that much. Like, it's very thin. But yeah, we split this and enjoyed that a lot. One of my favorites. Oh, this dessert. The server recommended this dessert to us, and it's kind of like a creme brulee with 2 pieces of like crunchy toast that you would typically have with maybe a coffee, and like these edible flowers. And I don't remember what this was called. Maybe I can find it, but this was delicious. Okay, you know what? I think this postre wasn't on the menu that day. It was a special. So let's see. Creme Spanish creme brulee dish. Yeah, creme catalana, and this is I think Barcelona Catalana. Yeah, it's a Catalonia region, so this is like a Catalonian sort of dish. And I wish I could remember what this flour was. This flour was like, when I bit into it, it was like, it seemed like it was sweet, but it wasn't sweet. It's probably because of the aromatics. So that was highly enjoyable. This was, yeah, so this is the next day. We woke up pretty early because the next day, that was our day of like checking out all the sites in Barcelona. So it was gonna be a busy day, and not many restaurants open early in Barcelona or in Spain in general. So we were up at like 8 a.m. and we got these little sandwiches with jamón y queso and some lattes to start our day off. Delicious. Just super simple sandwiches. Just love a ham and cheese. So this is Park Güell. And it's Gaudi's art piece. You probably can look this up. Don't need to go into it, but just a big old part that was going to be a neighborhood for rich people in Spain, but turned out to be a failed project. Don't know why. Yeah, so I have a lot more pictures than this probably, but yeah, I don't know why. But okay, so Park Güell aside, right after that we went to this restaurant called Mirador, which is like a 9-minute walk away from what is it? El Mirador. Oh my gosh, yeah. Boom. This little quaint little place with not really any like tourists. It was mainly locals walking in and out. And I found this place. Oh my gosh. Don't remember what this dish is called, but eggs, jamón on like patatas bravas, and like, don't remember the spice. It's not spicy. It's like more savory. Just like runny egg yolk. And I think there's a video of me being like super weird about it. Okay, here's more videos of, oh yeah. I just remember seeing in Park Güell these little birds. Green little birds taking baths. It was raining for like half the time we were in Spain, and Park Güell was just, for me, not an enjoyable experience because it was so rainy. So you can see how rainy it is, and we're just walking in this park. Yeah, three crosses. Yeah, Gaudi was a very religious person, wanted to combine nature and religion. Yeah, so this is the video. Oh my gosh. Like, I miss this. I miss that. Potatoes there were just fantastic. Don't know how they do it. It's like they cube it in this certain way that just when you fry it is just the best. And guess what? More croquetas. Yes, yes. I stopped having this later on. Like, it's pretty done with fried potatoes. Oh my gosh, I had this many times while there. For just pig ears, pork ears. Orejas del cerdo, pig ears. Yeah, kind of weird, but like that texture and fattiness of pig ears is like something that I just have to have after long walks and all that in Spain. Just this is like very prevalent in Filipino culture too, just having pig ears and all that. So I could see that how our similarities in like culinary cuisine is like comes from Spain in the Philippines. Another place at El Mirador, or another dish at El Mirador, this was like bell peppers toast with like 3 different types of fish on it. Can't remember it, but it's all like local. I hope it's local Barcelona fishes. It's like tiny little sardines, sort of. Very good. Me enjoying my food. Okay, so yeah, we spoiled ourselves for dinner, but I think I'm missing some good stuff in between. Let me pull it out. The La Sagrada Familia, this famous church that has been in construction since the early 1900s and is nearing completion. But like this church, cathedral, basilica, whatever, like all of these spires you see might look random, but all of it means something. And I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's just like in religion, they build things to like honor some sort of saint or like God himself or Jesus, whatever. And that's what all this is. And inside the church, very beautiful. The stainless glass is like the first thing you'll see. Just like the many different colors of stainless glass, the roof. So again, Gaudi is a very nature and religion type thing. So you could see that it's just like you feel like you're in a forest in a church. So that's what it felt like. Stainless glass, beautiful. Now this is like kind of the dome structure that you might see representing heaven, just like the difference between the beauty of heaven versus like us down below. Stainless glass, Gaudi sort of designed his stainless glass to reflect the 4 different seasons. So like summer, fall, winter, and spring. You can see the different stainless glass colors there, and I didn't really capture that. I'd say I was pretty grumpy this day. Just like it was super rainy, so many tourists in La Sagrada Familia. Just the touristy areas, just to me, like I can't find very much enjoyment out of them because there's just so many people and it's just raining and not great. So dinner, shortly afterwards we had dinner at Montbar in Lake Jampel in Spain. And this was a Michelin star restaurant according to the Michelin Guide. It was quite good. Service was all right. I will say there was this one, like everyone was super nice, but then we were sat next to like basically the kitchen door and the walkway. So servers would just like come by and walk by, and like for some reason this one server kept tapping on my table. Like he'd just tap on my table and just walk, and I'd be like, what was that? And I think he's just by habit just like checking everything, and he would tap the table to like make sure it's done. And I was just like, I think if they didn't do that, they'd probably have 2 stars or one, or like, you know, they would probably keep their 1 star. Yeah, Kim is listening to this weird observation by me. But yeah, just like more pictures of the interior. So it's like a bar, sort of Michelin star place in this really nice area of Barcelona. The ambiance, and honestly, I have a menu. This would probably just take a video on its own just to see what is the different types of food here. But it was like a lot of different rounds of food. So this was like a mushroom sort of broth soup that, oh man, I can't explain. Oh man, I need to get, be right back. I'm going to get the menu. Okay, so the restaurant gave us a little take-home menu. So here's mine. Very nice. With the wine pairings, I did get the wine pairings. So this first item was artichoke, anchovy, emulsion, and egg yolk. Right here. And a mushroom consommé with emulsified butter. So, yeah, we chose this restaurant because we wanted to have like a Catalonian, like local dining experience. Like Barcelona has a lot of good food, a lot of different types of food, but we decided to go with like more traditional Spanish, presented in an interesting way. So cockle clam souffle with sea bass ceviche toast, chicken skin and squid canapé, and a sea urchin vol au vent stracciatella and wasabi. Like, I'm probably pointing at the wrong things, but yeah, very like under the sea type vibes. Like I felt like I was eating SpongeBob. That's like a sponge thing, but it's not sponge. And like we're like picking at things in a coral reef. This was a mochi with sobrasada and mahon cheese. And then here's a video, I hope. Yes.
Chocolate parsley. Chocolate parsley. Equal oil.
This wasn't the dish. Oh, was this the dish? Yes. So razor clams a la donastiara with ponzu. Toast. Oh yeah, this was good. Tuna belly with pine nut emulsion. Oh man. Oh yeah, that was good. This was good stuff. The wines were amazing. So Can Rius, Huve Camps, Samling. Man, I don't even know these wines, but you definitely opened my eyes. Like, I've never heard of any of these wines before. Eastas Mendy, Amore Beaufort, Chablis Chardonnay, Pinot Gris, Grenache, Champagny. Oh my gosh. I was pretty buzzed by the end, and very full. So these are peas, pistachio, and glacial ficoidi. Stingray. Oh yeah, stingray. My first time having stingray. Yeah, like stingrays. I've went to an aquarium and petted stingrays, and you feel the texture of a stingray. Yeah, eating the stingray. That's kind of what you're eating. It's definitely interesting. It's good. Actually, it's good. Just interesting that I'd go from petting a stingray at a aquarium to eating it. So you could, I very like oceany sort of vibes are going here, right? Like eating stuff from the ocean, like the waves crashing down and onto the sea, onto the rocks, and like that's what you have, like the foaminess of like it's just like foaminess and sea breeze, and just that's what remind like all this feel like we're in the ocean, like we're just having all these foamy sort of items, you know, the tuna tartare, delicious wine. This is kind of like just a takeaway, you know, just a takeaway from that oceany, but like more ocean foamy vibes. Moral cheeks and rehago. Don't know. Mushroom, I think it was a mushroom. Moral mushrooms. What was this? Pigeon cooked in 2 ways in cacao. Oh. Okay, I don't remember what this was. But this was the pigeon cooked in 2 ways in the cacao. So it was like a pigeon steak and the pigeon breast and the pigeon dark meat with some ravioli and I guess cacao. Very good sauce. Oh my gosh, this drink. This drink was a Bombay Premier Crew Meal Fools by Sips. And Sips is like a bar there that they partnered with. This drink was delicious. You could suck on this leaf first and you drink the drink, and it's like it's not alcoholic, but it is like you get super drunk off of it. And it reminded me of like those lychee candy tubs, plastic candy, like you get those Asian candies that you get from the grocery store, and it's just a bunch of like little lychees and you just suck on it. That's what this reminded me of, but like of course way better, way more fresh, way like less processed, less artificial. So yeah. Rice ice cream, nori seaweed, and caviar. I assume this is the meal fuel pair and so we're in dessert now after this. This is like the digestif. Got desserts, very nice desserts. This was like, these right here were like an orange, those little strands in orange, and like each just peeled off the orange and then put into this dish. Like, that's crazy. Crispy orange marmalade sort of thing on top, orange. And these are cacao, like bean or seeds, whatever, in this little box, this little cute box. And orange, bitter chocolate, and Ras El Hanout or Petit Fours. And yes, my experience. Delicious. Very good. Tea. Kim had tea. And the next day we went to the park. The Citadel Park. Park de la Ciudadela. Park La Ciudadela. So literally right here is what we were doing. Boom. Yep, that was me. I'd be right here. Super cool. It was a beautiful day. It was like finally not raining. We can finally see the blue skies and just everyone in Barcelona. It was a Saturday, I think. And just like the city seemed like they were all out having fun, walking around, and it just felt like a great Saturday morning. We went to this restaurant, had some more sangria, orange sangria, some toast. I think this was a foie gras on toast. Scallops, really delicious scallops with this like bechamel and oranges. Fried calamari, delicious. Fried eggplant. Eggplants are huge there in like Spain. Like you can pretty much get eggplants anywhere. Or they call it aubergines. Just delicious. Delicious stuff. Put my menu back. This was 5 hours later. Now, was this in Granada or still in Barcelona? No, this was still in. Okay, this was no, not El Retiro. This is near Montjuic Palace. We went to some sort of mall slash parky area. I had it here. Okay, it was something around there. Oh yeah, sick views. Oh my gosh, Patatas Bravas in this bar. So there was like this sort of music event happening around here. Some famous artists, I guess, music artists, and a bunch of people just walking around there. And came out like I was getting hungry, so I wanted to go to this bar around the area. Very nice server there. Didn't really speak English, but they worked with our level of Spanish, or maybe they did, but they were being nice to us and speaking Spanish to us. But Patatas Bravas again, like just some simple bar on this like they had bars in just the weirdest areas, but there's a bar here at the Montjuic Palace. Like you look at the Montjuic Palace, amazing looking palace, and there's like a bar atop the steps, and they were serving this with popcorn and drinks, beer, cerveza. My first cerveza there. But these patatas bravas were so crispy, like they don't look like it, and just soft on the inside. And some sauce on top, which is like tomato based, mayo based, and not really spicy, just like, yeah, sweet and savory. So pretty much killed this. Like ate all of it because I was so hungry. Yes, random piece of bread. I think we had, yes, so we had this pescaderia, fresh seafood place for dinner, and they had this caldo broth soup, which is like clams and fish and these little tiny noodles, fideuà, I think, clams, steamed clams with tomato sauce, really delicious tomato sauce. I forgot the name of these shrimps. Langoustines and scallops with like this cilantro parsley chimichurri sauce. Very delicious. These shrimps are so good. My mouth is watering right now just thinking about it. So this is breakfast the next morning right before we had to leave Barcelona for Granada. Our flight was the next early morning. So we had breakfast in the hotel. Very nice breakfast, just like some pastries and desserts and cheeses and nice coffee and jams and yogurt. So we finally got to Granada about a few hours later. Vueling, lost my baggage. So basically you will see me in the same clothes almost for the next few days because I didn't have anything else on me. So this hotel, 3-star hotel, was a great hotel because it had a view of the Alhambra. And if you don't know what the Alhambra is, oh shoot, come on, you must have better pictures. Here it is. So this is from our view. basically where that window I was looking out at. Boom. The Alhambra, a pre-Renaissance period castle built by the Moors who used to occupy southern Spain like in the 800s to 1100s AD. Just crazy. Just crazy castle there. Okay, where were we? We're halfway done, so don't worry. This video's not going to be too long. It is going to be long. It's like 30 minutes now. 40 minutes. Jeez. It's okay. Whoa. Yeah, I showed most of these photos. Wait a minute. No, I think some of my photos finally got added. But we're not going to go back. Yeah, we just more photos. Close up of that Mont Bar little Oreo kind of snack, dessert snack. So delicious. Next to our hotel was this like building, how like protecting ancient Roman like buildings. Yeah, this is just more of that park near us. This is the Montjuic Palace next to the bar. To the right is the bar. Vueling freaking lost my baggage, and this is me creating my report. Oh. This is in Granada. We're like walking on the streets, just like, look at these streets. Crazy. Granada. Granada is amazing. Granada has a tapas culture where if you buy a drink, they will provide you a tapa. And sometimes they would provide these sandwiches with olives and chips. And this would be like a bagel with lettuce and pan-fried pork. Just like bagels in Spain. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Very good. Yes, more pictures of the Granada and me being frustrated with my tickets. This is the walk up to the Alhambra. This is the Calle de los Muertos in this, or something like that. And the story is like whenever someone important would die, they would walk their body up in a casket up this road to like the burial site, which somewhere in the Alhambra used to be a burial site. But on this walk, all I could think of how I was in Elden Ring, like, and I probably like see some sort of enemy here difficult enemy that I have to kill. Because it's just like so game looking, just like felt like I was in a game. Just like look how beautiful and beautiful but medieval this looks. Just Elden Ring vibes and beautiful flowers, a fountain. So the Alhambra was up top this like plateau of sorts, and there's no water there, so they bring water through Roman aqueducts up to the Alhambra. More Alhambra views from the top of the Alhambra. This is like the guards' quarters, and the prison would be like in these little holes, which is basically dungeons, and you have cannonballs right here. Yeah, this is like legit castle. Lost to the Spanish in 1492 before Columbus set sail for the New World. The entrance to the Alhambra, the old entrance to the Alhambra. Oh yes, and now we're finally inside the Alhambra when we can finally see the plastered wall, like the plastered design walls of how they decorated their interiors. And just this like insane detail that they would use. Beautiful, like just imagine that. And I think they were telling me that what would be written on the walls would be, in Arabic I assume, is like God is the only victor. like more beautiful walls. And they tell, the tour guide would say that these walls used to be painted, and because of all the weather and the rain, those colors have since faded away. And you can see there are some like plastered walls where you can see some of the original colors. So like here you can see some of the colors that used to be there, blues. This is the outside, so this is the fountain. And it was said that in this sort of Arabic Moorish culture, water is like the source of life and all that. So wherever there's water, and if you have a lot of it, it must mean you're pretty important. So I guess since there's a pool of water in the middle of this person's palace, basically the sultan of this area at the time, Andalusia, this was a very important person because he had water. Yeah, just beautiful. Just imagine waking up to this. Like this would be the sultan's quarters over here. Just imagine waking up to that, like in Aladdin, and just like opening the door, and like you are the ruler of this massive empire, and this is your palace. Just amazing. Yep, stars. More interesting like patterns, just like wow. So this castle back here would be painted white. Now imagine just like everything here is painted white and just pristine, looking pristine. It was raining, once again, raining in Spain. You could see the water droplets, making it just, it was not as, unenjoyable here because it was covered for the most part. But yeah, I had my umbrella, great trip. I'm wearing the same jacket I'd be wearing every day. So this is like the Nasrid Palace, I believe, or the Palace of the Lions. You can see the lions over here. Just amazing. This area would be used in the summer for like gatherings or parties, whatever, and then closed during, or I think the opposite, or closed during the winter because it would be so cold. Something around that. Just the geometry, the symmetry of this is insane. And yeah, these marble columns and marble floors, and since it was raining, it was kind of, you could see the reflections of these pillars on the water, and it just looked so cool. This is interesting. This is like horsehide, painted by the Christians, and then put here before Christians took over this area. So this kind of like showed that the Christians and the Muslims kind of got along. That's what the tour guide said. But this is interesting that the Muslims even allow this, because apparently Muslims don't usually like use animals or whatever to like create things. So the fact that Christians used horses just like kind of made me think of like, since I'm a Christian, just like are we like barbaric in that we do that? But anyways, that's just like a whole other talk to have, and don't want to get into it. But yeah, more interesting stuff. Just so much to see in this Alhambra. Just like beautiful stuff. This is the gardens. Oh, this is like probably one of my favorites. Just like this amazing walls and paintings, and you have the gardens right here. Stained glass. I couldn't get into here since it was walled off, so I had to like reach my camera and then like take the picture just to get this, to capture this. So it was really cool to see the colors, and like these would be bedrooms. These things could be like a bedroom of some important person or child or whatever. Like, just imagine being raised in this, just like all that stimulation you're raised under. This has to be a video. So this was like after Charles or whoever the Christians took over, they like built this Colosseum-like structure, which is like a symbol of the Renaissance at the time, and it would be like this circular dome enclosed in a square structure. I thought this was very like Elden Ring-esque in that it made me want to walk into the middle of it and okay, well, I don't have pictures of it, unfortunately. I thought I did. Darn. Oh well, it is okay. Maybe it'll come up later. Yep, more of the Alhambra. Yeah, Alhambra is insane. Just these beautiful gardens, the Generalif with the Alhambra in the background and the city of Granada. Yeah. Churros or boras. Just big old fried churro donuts with chocolate. Delicious. Delicious. Mercado de Artesania. So Granada, since it's like very Muslim or like Arabic, like they have these basically bazaars, and most of these bazaars were selling the same stuff. So not really interesting. This was laundry. I tried to like figure out if I needed to do laundry, and this would be the price of doing laundry versus going out and buying clothes, and I decided to go buy clothes. This was in a restaurant. So this is Sevilla now. So after we stayed one night in Granada, we went to Sevilla, and Sevilla has like bullfighting culture. There's a big old stadium for bullfighting, and this restaurant had just a bunch of bullheads around. And it's interesting to see, like in Barcelona, they didn't like this sort of culture, but in southern Spain, this is what they're all about. This is in our hotel, little area. So this is in Sevilla. This is another big old cathedral, very cool looking cathedral. Cathedral of Seville. Yeah, just amazing. We didn't go inside it, but there's a long line to go inside. You can see the line, very long. Beautiful, just like these arches. Just like Hunchback of Notre Dame-esque. This is in the Royal Alcazar. Again, another Moorish palace for the sultans way back then. So it has a lot of similarities to the Alhambra. But in Sevilla, this is like something you must visit. It's an old wall with the palace. Very cool. Just like how grand when you walk in and you see the palace under this like frame of this wall. Yes, very nice. Again, another rare sunny day. Just these days you gotta take advantage of. So yeah, we're in the Alcazar. Very similar, not as nice as the Alhambra. I think the Alhambra was more grand, and I think that's where the ruler of this area was in Granada. So not as grand, but still cool. Blue skies, love the blue skies. This courtyard was nice. I have pictures of this courtyard, and the lighting when we were here was just amazing. This map is interesting because this was, it doesn't say when it was made, but it was a map of like probably the times. There's all these ships trading, and you can see all the big cities of the days. Like this is probably like a 400, 500-year-old map, and it's a big tapestry, like the size of, there's a picture here. So like it would be this big. So this is the Giralda exiting the Royal Alcazar. So it's pretty cool to like, as soon as you leave your palace, you just see this structure. And going to Spain in the summer must be so nice. Just like, these are probably orange trees, and you can see all the oranges sprouting, but that wasn't for us. Like, we didn't get to see that, but like just the blue skies is always a treat. Just like the painted walls and all that, just the amount of colors. There's a lot of artists around here, and for good reason. Like, this place is an endless canvas, or whatever the word is when you want to paint something. Yes, very nice. Horse, the like this city had horses. They used horses to get around in some aspects. We didn't take it. Didn't seem like we needed to. Oranges, towers. Oh my gosh. Portuguese egg tart in Spain. We were walking down the street from here back to like our hotel to chill out, and like we were just stopping by these little stores to try new things and buy snacks and do all that, and we found these egg tarts, and this egg tart was freshly made by this like Frenchman and very crispy on the outside. In the inside, it was like not super gooey, but like held its form when I bit into it. So it'd be like eating a fresh croissant with amazing eggy, sweet, like gooey, just the best Portuguese egg tart I've probably ever had. I wish I took a video of like, oh, I did. Yes. Yes. I can hear that. Random photo of the ceiling. What's going on? Okay, there we go. Okay. Sevilla. This was in the, man. So glad I get to go through all of this again. Plaza de España. Built in the 20th century, early 20th century for the American, Spanish, Iberico-America exposition of sorts. So like the Spanish built this to show like their advanced techniques and technology. So we were like somewhere in here, somewhere like right here, and you could see, this is another thing about southern Spain, flamenco culture. I would probably like, I would love to be, so I bought some of these like clapper thingies, I forgot what they're called, when we went to go see a flamenco show, because I thought it was so cool. And they're just making music with, like, this person is being a drummer, and these guys are clapping, and this guy would sing, and she would dance and tap. So it's just cool to, like, they can make music. And we actually went to a flamenco show, and it was insane. Beautiful. Just like the fountain in the background, and what a setting for a flamenco. And yep, this is me. This is grand. We were sitting here, these big old ducks, man, they get fed so much. These videos, no, they're just like running around getting food from these people, feeding them. Oh yeah, I do. These ducks would kind of just, ducks and birds think we would have food, and they'd pop in and like look in our hands. It was so funny. This was in Madrid. So after Sevilla, yeah, Madrid. There should be more pictures somewhere, but don't have them. Madrid, yeah, we walked around a bit. I was just being grumpy and wearing my same clothes again for the 4th day in a row. Plaza Mayor. Madrid was cool. Definitely grew on me. Just like massive city with so many people. Wow, just like we went from Barcelona, big city, to Granada, tiny city, to Sevilla, mid-sized city, to Madrid, huge city. So many people. I was like New York. It was like New York. This was in the Botanical Gardens. Yeah, just like the cool architecture, just everywhere. There's a lot more pictures, but don't need to get into that. In between in Madrid, I don't know where they are. Don't know what happened to them. But now the whole starter for why we took this trip was because Kim had gotten a deal for us to take a first class business class flight back to the US. So this is me taking pictures of like this snack that I had on one of the business class flights. These crepes forêt fromage, and they're like these crispy cheese-filled crackers. They're like soft, crispy, and like cheesy in the inside. Delicious. This is like our first meal on these first class, like business class seats where we can just like sit down, lie down, and sleep. And I was playing my mod retro chromatic there. The wine I had, this is like a take a picture of it. Mazamil wine. So like this was French. We had our little taste of French because we took Air France. So we had a little taste of France too along in our Spain trip. Super nice. Olive oil, baguettes, unlimited baguettes. The attendants would just keep coming around asking me if I want another baguette and more wine and water because I was drinking so much. But yeah, that is my trip. I hope you liked it, and I definitely enjoyed talking about it. So hope to see you guys again for my next trip, or we'll see. We will see by day. So without further ado, hope you have a good one. See ya.